So, Rise of the Beasts came out this weekend, and it had a solid opening weekend. The international number is at 171 million, which is pretty good. It's doing well in China, which is, as they point out here, better start than more recent Hollywood movies. And I want to talk about that in a second, too, because there's something that isn't being reported on. So 171 million, 40 million from China. That's what's really propping this movie up. Made about 60 million here. And the real question is, how is it going to perform next weekend? Because next weekend, The Flash comes out, which will likely smash this movie down. I'm expecting The Flash to do really good because of all of the Batman marketing that they're doing with this movie. That movie is running on Batman. But we've had 2 weekends now, Spider-Man and Transformers, that have had people of color in the leads. So the human co-star in this movie is I believe, a person that would identify as black. And then, of course, Miles Morales is black as well. And I also want to point out that this movie did good in China after the media was calling all of the people in China and South Korea racist for not watching Little Mermaid. Well, the world is racist. But then you have Transformers come out and do well worldwide, co-starring a black lead. And then you have Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse come out, do well, has black lead. So you start to wonder, is it really the world is racist, or did Disney just make a shitty movie? Little Mermaid is swimming along with 228 million at the domestic box office, but the big budget film has been struggling overseas. At one point, there was hope the film would near the 1 billion mark, and now it'll be lucky to hit 500 million worldwide, meaning this movie is a flop. This movie is a flop. It's going to lose money for Disney. I think that's amazing. Always love seeing Disney lose money because they are a garbage company. And they deserve it. But it's funny to me, all these, the reviews, it's a bunch of racisms with this movie. But then you go to Rise of the Beasts and audience like it. Critics don't like it, but the audience score is pretty solid. Verified and all audience are damn close to each other, unlike Little Mermaid. Spider-Man Across the Universe, or Spider-Verse, audience scores are pretty damn they're the same score. Top critics, all high for this one. Everybody loves this movie. Critics and audiences are at a disagreement with Rise of the Beasts. So maybe it's good. I don't know. I haven't watched the movie. I have no interest. I've watched maybe one of the past 5 Transformers movies. I watched Bumblebee. Thought Bumblebee was okay. The other ones, I think the 3 before that one, I never watched. The previous 3. Because I did not like the second one. I thought Transformers 2 was trash. So I didn't bother seeing any more. So it's just funny that the media likes to run with this, and then they never cover this. This movie did good in China. And as I've pointed out, the leads in this movie, I think even the female lead, both persons of color, as they like to say in the media, and it's doing well. Once again, just like Spider-Man, disproving that people didn't want to see The Little Mermaid because of racisms. No, it's probably because The Little Mermaid is a dog shit movie. Just talking facts. Little Mermaid is a shitty movie. It looks like shit. The effects look like garbage, and nobody wanted to watch it. And now, what's even better is you have outlets actually reporting on this correctly now. Transformers Rise of the Beasts roars into theaters, earning $60.5 million as The Little Mermaid flounders globally due to racial backlash. Now, that's not true. I can't believe they're even putting that in the same sentence because of who stars in Rise of the Beasts. Here are the two lead characters, by the way, next to Optimus Prime. But sure, racial backlash. Right. Okay. People got to be really stupid to believe this shit. By the way, look at this outlet from Collider. Collider's been doing their best to try to spin this Little Mermaid shit. It's funny. The Little Mermaid sales passed new milestone at the global box office, but it's struggling to stay afloat overseas. I love that this movie's flop. All I need now is Elementals and Dial of Destiny to flop, and we will have a successfully bad year for Disney. I say that because it's successful to me when they fail, because they're a garbage company, and I like making videos on their failures because they deserve every failure they get, especially after that bullshit in Florida. So, bad news, Disney bros. They're really celebrating this 60 million mark for Transformers. It's not really that great. Next week, this movie's probably still going to fail. I don't know if that's good or bad, because like I said, I haven't seen the movie. I didn't like some of the ways they were promoting this movie. Try to make it like basically sound like the wokest thing ever, and that's a reason you need to see it. But like I said, I've heard from a couple of people that it's a good movie, and if it is, that's great. I'm kind of burnt out on this style of Transformers movies at this point. So you've got this movie, like I said, 117 million in a global bow. Spider-Verse is apparently at 390 globally. So that movie's already made its money back because the budget for that movie is really small. That's what you got to understand about these Spider-Verse movies. That's how they make so much money. It's because they're actually small budgets. And that is what every movie should try to do. They don't have bloated budgets. And because of that, they end up making money. Now, I looked up Transformers budget. That's at $200 million. Keep in mind, as I've pointed out before, part of that goes to the theaters as well as the marketing budget, so they are still quite in the hole. This movie probably needs to make about $600 million, I think, to make money. Maybe $700 million. It's pretty high budget. Next week, The Flash drops, along with Elementals. So another Disney movie. And then the week after that, or 2 weeks after that, Mission Impossible and Dial of Destiny. Mission Impossible comes out after, I think, a week after Dial of Destiny. So we have a lot of movies coming out. This movie's probably going to have a big drop next weekend. So I don't know if this one will make money or not. Spider-Verse has already made its money, more than likely. And The Little Mermaid is a flop. So, love seeing that movie lose massive amounts of money, especially with the way that the media and Disney coped over it. That's even better. All those people that celebrated the first weekend for that movie, too, which was hilarious. Everyone was like, oh my God, it's making money. Yeah, we're wrong again. No, it takes more. Like, the first weekend is never, that's no longer an indicator of a movie. Because we've seen movies, like, shatter records for its first weekend, like Ant-Man. And then what happened to Ant-Man? It fell off a cliff. Just like The Little Mermaid. Fell off a cliff. So it's really about the second and the third weekend now for us to know how a movie's going to do. It's all about that second weekend. Because people might go see it the first weekend, but they have to go see it the second weekend too. You need people coming back to the theaters. And they didn't go back for The Little Mermaid. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Check out my Rumble and Locals, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my Locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here. I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my locals.